there, Pilgrim. I said I would come on and make a little video to help you prepare for our upcoming date together at Raw. So I'm pretty sure you're probably wondering what you're going to need. I'm going to supply everything for you, so I will have all the art supplies that you will need. In saying that, if you already have your own supplies and if you already have a practice going, you probably are going to have supplies that you like to use, like your favorites. So bring them with you if you want. That is totally up to you. You won't want for anything really. I'm not huge on supplies. I'm very basic, but do bring whatever you want. I am going to ask you to choose your own journal. I have provided journals before, and I'll probably just have a few I'll have a few with me just in case anybody happens to arrive without a journal. But it is better if you choose your own journal because, to get into the feel of what size of a book you like, what kind of paper that you like. And I'll give you some examples here. So in any kind of stationery store at all, you will have these journals here that are called the Icon Journal and Sketchbook. Now, I've been using these for a little while and I really like them. That's the A6 size, and then this is the A4 size. The paper on the inside is kind of creamish. It's not really going to matter what your paper looks like on the inside, but that paper is, it takes a good bit of mixed media onto it. If the pages are too thin, they can kind of they mightn't hold up. So this is 120 GSM. That is the weight of the paper, 120 in these books. So I would probably recommend, if you're getting a journal, to look for a GSM of 120 or maybe at least 90. But I will be sharing techniques anyway that help us make art on, even if your paper is really thin, because this is just a moleskin, like a copybook journal, and I've made a lot of art in these journals, and these are the journals that I would usually give out at the workshop, and I teach you how to kind of reinforce these pages so that they're not like shoving your brush through the page every time. So don't worry, in other words, is what I'm saying, too much about the journal that you bring. The other thing I want you to consider the size that you like and the shape that you like and feel of that you like. You can also get square journals. So shape, scale, and even if you have two. So I would say to you, bring a kind of like you don't have to bring two, but give yourself, to play with at home at least, a selection of two journals. And the reason being is because working in two surfaces at once allows us to kind of leave this alone for a minute. You can let it dry and then I'll move over here. So I would say to you to try and get yourself two journals and because you're getting two, get the two different sizes. Or maybe two different shapes so you can experiment, right? So that's all you're going to have to worry about, is bringing your own journal. Don't panic though, okay? You will find them in stationery stores and you'll find them in probably art supply stores. The other thing that I'm going to ask you to bring is, actually you're probably not going to need this, but it's another thing you can do. You could do this for your second journal. So you just bring one plain sketchbook type journal. And the other thing that I want you to bring is some kind of a book like this, right? Optional, so you don't have to do this, but do bring two books, either two journals or a journal and one of these. So you go into some sort of a secondhand store or something like that, and you're going to pick some kind of a used illustrated book of some kind, and you will see why when we get there, but it's just another place to park your paints when this page over here is drying or something like that. Okay, so that's that. The workshop starts at 10 a.m. I invite you to start arriving from about 9:45 so that you can come in and make a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you want, and just kind of like, I'll have my journals there so you can flip through them and just kind of settle in and relax a little bit before we start, because we will be starting at 10 sharp, and please make the effort to be there on time so that we can begin and not be worrying about somebody being late, or because it really would interrupt the opening process, the opening circle. So we work up until about lunchtime, which it will either be 1 or 1:30. There's loads of places nearby to eat. I will have nibbly bits there anyway, and teas and coffees and all of that. So no, you're not going to starve. But we have a gorgeous food nearby, so you'll be grand for lunch. And then we will work until about 5. We'll work until about 4, and then we'll start the whole process of cleaning up and having a closing circle, and we will be done for 5. So that's it. I don't know if there's any other questions that you have. I will have sent a Google Map link in the email, and all you have to do is hit reply and with any questions that you might have. And I think that covers it. Everything else that you might need to know will be in the email. So